Hey, hello, Jesse with the astrology here. I wanted to come on and share on this Friday, Freya's Day, Venus Day, a little bit about the Venus retrograde that's coming up. You can see by the chart down here that Venus and Pluto are conjunct right now in Capricorn. And I was feeling as I kind of most of the day, as I woke up today and I was teaching yoga, I just started to notice that I was feeling really anxious. I have some astrology points here so that they're stimulating stuff in my natal chart, but I could just notice that I was having a more anxious day. And I remembered that Venus is conjunct Pluto right now. So I wanted to share that. I've also had really interesting things happen that kind of highlight Venus in Pluto experiences of the feminine and the underworld, or the feminine being pulled into the underworld. For example, my mom cut her fingers really bad this week. So like that kind of injury. Someone else is going through some loss around their mother. So this might just be showing up a little bit in our world right now with the energies of the archetypal themes of Persephone being pulled into the underworld, and the work around the Persephone myth to move from the place of being a victim into being the empowered queen. So this Venus and Capricorn energy is going to continue because through the retrograde, she's going to be in Capricorn until March. So Venus and Capricorn, I'm just thinking of earth energy and the Venusian goddess of beauty and love. She's transitioning from being that evening star aspect, which is more of the yin energy of the feminine, the softness, and transitioning into becoming a morning star. And she'll be more in her battle goddess aspect. So I'll show you a few other things that are happening in this chart right now. With Venus conjunct Pluto, it is making a square with Eris, the goddess of chaos. So adding some of that surprise energy to this particular situation. And Mars, I realized, is almost exactly in the position where the full moon lunar eclipse happened on November 18, 19, with the moon was in Taurus and the sun was here in Scorpio at the last degrees here. So Mars is kind of revisiting, I think, that energy of the first lunar eclipse we had, which started to initiate change. And then the solar eclipse just happened December 4th. And now we're going to do this Venus reviewing. So another aspect here that we can see is that Mars at the very last degrees of Scorpio is still squaring Jupiter. So this, wherever there's squares, there's going to be more tension, and with Mars, squares can sometimes have explosive energy. So be mindful of that. This is an interesting combination because Jupiter's in an air sign and Mars is in a water sign. So could be storms, that kind of energy. I know just south of us, they're getting 8 to 10 inches tonight. So yeah, so we just watched The Hunt for Red October, all about submarines and the masculine plotting and trying to think its way, get strategic about how to solve these kind of really complex war issues. So that reminds me of this Mars square Jupiter sort of energy. So on December 19th is when Venus is going to start her retrograde journey. And this is likened to some of the most ancient rituals and mysteries that have been on this planet for thousands of years. One of the oldest stories is Inanna and Ereshkigal, Ishtar, all of these feminine goddess stories come from Venus. Actually, the planet Venus was once known as Inanna. So Venus has this sort of double aspect where she can appear in two different forms, and she flows between the great above and the great below. And she invites us to really go within and to do the inner work. So this is such a lovely time up in North America when it's getting darker and darker and darker to take some extra time to journal and to note, I'm feeling anxious today, and just start to write things out and really make what's deep within us, make those the feelings and those things that we associate with the feminine, start make those really conscious, bringing those into our awareness, especially with this Pluto conjunct transit. So Venus is just now conjunct Pluto. She's going to cross over Pluto, and then once she goes through her retrograde, she's going to cross back over Pluto. So pay attention right now as the conjunction is happening, about what you're going to revisit when Venus crosses back over Pluto. So January 29th is when her retrograde ends. So she's going to move from 29 degrees Capricorn all the way back to 11 degrees Capricorn. And she'll be back at that 29 degrees March 6th. So from now until March 6th is going to be Venus in Capricorn. So the feminine and the earth elements. I know just the other day I had to go shopping and buy a bunch of material goods. Like, Venus is going to get practical about material things. I'm just now wondering if Venus is in fall exaltation. Let me just see if I can find my here it is, underneath all my books. Okay. Yeah, so Venus is neither in exaltation or in detriment in Capricorn. So it's neutral. Capricorn is beginning the mysteries of Earth, so initiating Earth element understanding. So through this Venus retrograde, stay connected to the Earth, get more in touch with the Earth, notice the Earth element. And it's hard where we are because there's a lot of snow on the Earth, but to be mindful of nature and to find ways in which we can stay in touch with the Earth. I keep a pot of dirt around me, and I will actually stick my thumb in it to meditate and to really get that Earth element energy on my hands and to help stay grounded. So any other ideas that you can think of, Venus is going to be really working on balancing Earth stuff right now. So, I'll get to that in just a second. A few more things. Right now, Pluto is almost exactly conjunct the natal Pluto of the chart of the USA. So the United States is going through a Pluto return, and Pluto is going to go exactly, I think the United States Pluto is at 27 degrees. And so Pluto is going to hang out here, kind of retrograding back and forth. And it won't move into Aquarius until March of 2023. So from now until then, America will be reviewing Pluto stuff. And part of that, I think, is why we're experiencing this collapsing of structures. Capricorn rules business and commerce and structures of Earth, real practical things like buildings, and also just kind of the way we do governments, the way we form our societies. So as we might be experiencing some of that shifting or changing or even collapsing, to keep in mind. We're reviewing this Pluto stuff, and as we can make the depths and the underworld conscious, we can bring more awareness to the depths and bring a more embodied experience into our work, into our relationships, and be a better steward of the earth element and all that that entails. So when Pluto moves into Aquarius in 2023, I suspect then we'll be dealing with more of the mayhem in the air and the structures of the air. We'll be going through their underworld time. So other ideas that are coming to me about this Pluto return that the United States is having is kind of reckoning with our karmic past, making amends for the ways in which we've dishonored the earth, and for the ways in which we've dishonored the feminine, even the feminine element, or even women. I think Venus will be reviewing some of the stuff throughout her transit here. So what else did I want to say? Oh, by the time Venus comes out of her retrograde and is moving on to a different house, Jupiter will have already made its way into Pisces. Jupiter is here at the last kind of middle, last quarter of Aquarius. So 2022, Jupiter will be in Pisces, and Jupiter is a wise sage in Pisces. And Jupiter had a little stint last year at the beginning of the year in Pisces, and then retrograded back into Aquarius. Now Jupiter's headed back there. And I remember at the time just going into meditation and finding those big ideas there, those cosmic ideas, those wisdom, the nectar of the potential for humanity to be a cosmic citizen, to understand the ancient mysteries, and also the potential that we have. So I feel like 2022 is going to have a lot more of that spiritual wisdom component added to it, with Jupiter moving into Pisces. For now, Venus is going to get real practical with Earth stuff and do that review. So I'll flip to this last slide and I'll just close this. I am offering a journey through this Venus retrograde to be able to use this time with awareness and intention. And so I'm going to offer these fireside chats where once a week I'm going to send out an audio recording that's kind of like a service that you might hear on the radio. It'll begin with meditation. I'll have some sacred readings about the goddess. I'm going to be exploring the different goddess pairs. So we'll be looking at different goddess pairs every week, like Inanna and Ereshkigal, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Lilith, Sophia, Eve, and the serpent. We'll explore some of the Persephone and Demeter myths, and I'll offer some more prepared reflections, use my seminary degree and try to write these little mini sermonettes, and close with a song and a blessing, sending you out into the world. So if you would like to receive these audios and be a part of this supportive journey through Venus retrograde, you can visit my website, taraloma.com, and you can join us on the journey. So that's all I have for you tonight. Hope you have a wonderful week and many blessings. Good luck through this Venus retrograde. Take care.